if it comes to the point where it's your semester versus your mental health is more important. Hello people of YouTube, Pixie here, and today on my channel it is Study With Me Saturday. And that means we are going to talk about something that is related to studying or something along those lines, maybe college, maybe high school, tips, advice, stuff like that. So for today's video, we are going to be talking about how to save your semester. Now I know at times during the end of the semester or when you're starting to close in on those final weeks, it can feel like it is far too late to save your semester, save your grades, save your GPA, but I'm here to tell you that hopefully it is not if you kind of actually follow these tips that I'm going to talk about with you. So let's just go ahead and get started. So the first tip is to sit down and plan out everything that you have to get done for the remainder of the semester, whether that includes late work or not. Anything you need to turn in, any tests that are coming up from now until the end of the semester. So sit down, plan it out, and schedule out how you plan to get that done, the time it's going to take for each class, for each assignment, all that stuff. Like, sit down and plan it out, and I promise it is so worth it to do that because it just makes everything more kind of attainable when you can see what you have to get done right in front of you, like a whole list, a whole document. I really recommend getting a planner and keeping it the entire semester, but if you're at this point in the semester, it can still help to sit down and visualize what you need to get done and plan out everything to really see if it's even possible at this point. So yeah, sit down and do that. Tip 2 is to go to class. Now I know it may seem maybe pointless at this point in the semester if you feel like you are just completely off base with the class. Still keep going. It may seem like it is the exact opposite time to keep going to class, but it actually is the most important time to go to class because you still need to possibly be getting participation points, you still need to be learning new material that is potentially going to be on upcoming exams, and you still need to have a presence in the classroom. So don't try not to get nervous and try to keep going to class. That is like crucial that you keep going to class. Tip 3 is to talk to your teacher, and I know for most of us, if not all of us, that is very, very scary, especially when you are like at the point where you're trying to save your semester, but I promise it is not as scary as it seems. Go talk to your professor and ask them what is needed of you. Ask them, is there any kind of thing that maybe you could work out, like something, turning in things late. I promise you they want to know what's going on. Like, they're not going to go out of their way to chase you down and figure out what's going on. You need to go and address the situation to them, and I promise they will appreciate your honesty most of the time, and they will appreciate you coming to them and actually showing initiative that you care about this class enough to go and talk to them about what's going on. Instead of just completely blowing it off. They want to know what's going on. They want to hear you out. Their teacher, they should, and they hopefully care about students to a point. So they want to know what's going on. They're not going to come up to, that's not part of the description, but hopefully they can work something out with you. And a lot of times they do, sometimes they don't, but sometimes they do. So it's worth going to talk to your professor and let them know what's going on. Tip 4 is to get study partners, get study buddies, talk to people in class, study with them, get a friend to study with you. Even if it's a different topic that they're studying, it's really nice to have someone to go study with because it kind of motivates you. It's kind of like if you're like going to the gym and you have like a training partner, it's kind of like the same situation where you just feel like more inclined to go when you have someone to go with. So get a friend, get a friend to study with. And if you can't find anyone, or it's too late in the semester, or you don't know anyone to study with, honestly, utilize those study with me videos that people have been posting all over YouTube. Just type in study with me, sit down and get situated, and when you're with someone, I feel like it's easier to study and stay focused, and you just feel, just more inclined to study. So get study partners. I promise they will help you. And also if they're in the class, they will definitely help you. You guys can all study together and figure out what kind of material is going to be on the exams, figure out any kind of stuff like that. Talk to people who have previously taken the course before. talk to them about anything that can help you with the class. Tip 5, it is not too late to utilize your school's resources. I know for my community college we had a tutoring center for literally almost every subject, and I would definitely tell you to go to the tutoring center if you have one. Maybe schedule time with your teaching assistant or teacher or tutoring, something, any kind of thing to kind of help you get back on track, onto a solid track where you feel comfortable with the material, and utilize those resources. It is never too late to step foot and try to take control back of the semester, and utilize those resources. I cannot stress that enough. Utilize those resources on campus. They are there for a reason. You are paying for those resources, so use them. Use them, use them, use them. Okay, so tip 6 is to use Khan Academy if the subject is on there. A lot of subjects are, and they are in amazing detail. I remember I kind of like, the first time I heard about Khan Academy, I was like, what is that? I'm not gonna go do that. But I wish I had, just because it is pretty awesome. No, this isn't sponsored, but I seriously wish it was. Khan is amazing. Khan Academy, I will like link it in the description, just because there are so many, like, before, I don't even know how I was enrolled in some of those courses without knowing about Khan Academy. Basically, it's like breaks down subjects in video form and like teaches you, and the great thing is that you can like obviously like repeat. Like for me, chemistry and Khan were like, that's where I learned like anything related to chemistry, because when I'm in class and I'm learning about chemistry, a lot of the time I just like, it was just too fast for me. Like I felt like most of my classmates already knew what was going on, and I was like, I don't know what's happening. So I would go home and go on Khan and like watch the videos, and I would watch them like a million times, take notes while Khan is like, you know, like while the video is playing, just so I could really sit and digest the material, because I could not do that as quickly in my classes. I'm not that type of person. I need to see it like a zillion times, and like much more slowed down than like how it was happening in class. So if you haven't heard of Khan Academy, I really recommend it. They've got like math videos, they've got science videos. There's even like this thing that actually there are other YouTubers do, oh my goodness, Hank Green and Tom Green. They do this thing called Crash Course, which is kind of exactly what you think it is, like just boom, explains everything. They do that for some chemistry. I feel like they do some history. They do some other subjects. I'm not exactly sure all of them, but definitely check out Khan. There's even like medical school stuff on there too. It's really cool. So if you haven't used it, I really recommend it. And I really recommend it if you were like in dire need of like learning a bunch of material, because it just breaks it down in like a bunch of, it's just very organized for you, and so you can just find the topics that you need, watch that video, skip the next one if you don't need it, watch the next one, blah blah blah. So next and the last tip is to remember to breathe. Take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, and remember that if it comes to the point where you fail class, I promise it will be okay. I know it doesn't seem like that, but I promise it will be okay. You will get through this, and just remember to breathe, like, and take care of your mental health. I say that in like a lot of my videos, but honestly, that is number one. Literally, do not forget that. If it comes to the point where it's your semester versus your mental health is more important, and don't forget that. And I love you all, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time, and if you aren't subscribed to this channel, hit the subscribe button, please, and I will see you all in my next video.